Well,
Hello.
look at that smile.
Oh,
Hi.
hello. I'm very excited to meet you, Tom. Hi.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to virtually meet you. I'm Lutz from St. Louis. Thanks for joining us from your vehicle, looks like.
I know. So I have like these press interviews I'm doing right now, but I got sent to find watercolors for my kid by a very specific time, um,
That's
because
amazing.
I don't know what art project he's doing on the computer, like fucking like all the kids. I don't know what this is. Because I need brush. I don't know. What do you do?
Oh no. I think that's something everybody on here who's a parent can understand. How's that been
Yeah,
quarantining as a dad?
it's you know what? It's actually been cool because um, my my lady has two boys that have their couple hours of homeschool. Then my son is 13 and he goes down into my studio and just does this thing. But they pop up all day long and they go jump on the trampoline or go on the skateboards, then go back away. And it's just kind of fun to see them more. And they're split up enough to where it's not like they're not arguing or anything like that. So it's actually been pretty rad. The thing that's the worst is like shutting down the country and the beaches and all that kind of stuff. That's the harder part because then you're just stuck at home, you know. But we're okay. A lot of people are not. So I don't I have nothing to complain about. I mean, obviously I'm so fortunate, and there's so many people that aren't, you know. So
I was gonna say
even if it is hard with the kids sometimes.
you mentioned your lady. Congratulations. I follow you on Instagram, and it's just really pleasant to see
Oh,
you in love and happy and quarantined with your love. That's fantastic. I have watched a few of your interviews and seen you talk about the rebirth of kind of your heart and stuff. And I think that's so incredible for not only a man to be talking about emotional things, but an artist to really open up about that kind of stuff. Very cool. So
you
congrats
are
to you
like
on that.
so nice.
Oh,
I'm the worst though. I say everything. Like I wear every emotion. Like I just tell you, you know. And it's I'm probably very different than a lot of artists because they're always so guarded. Like it was interesting when I first quit Blink the first time, not the 20th time, but the first time. Like I remember like the identity crisis I went through of not being in this Tom from the big band, you know, and then I had to start from scratch. I went from staying at Ritz Carltons to like motels, you know, on tour, but it really made me love like me, you know, like I learned who I was, what I want to be, what I want to do, and then you know the most devastating thing in the world is to go through a divorce, and I went through that the past couple of years,
just went through
and
it
it's like
myself. I feel you.
that's why you're saying these things because you know it's worse than death. And my dad like died in my arms, you know.
So that's real.
That was not as bad as this.
No.
You know, divorce is way worse than a death because a death
Yeah.
kind of happens and you work your way through it and you got to move forward. Done. But divorce just goes on. It doesn't. It's like the fucking gift that keeps giving.
Yeah.
You know. um, you know. So, but even mine like it wasn't like bad and like it's only bad because it's hurtful. It
It's a
hurts your
giant
heart.
life change regardless. There's just no way around it, and
There's
change is
no way
not
around it.
comfortable. And the things you're
Yeah.
talking about now, with even the first time that you left Blink, people are experiencing that right now as they've been furloughed from their jobs, as they're being kicked out. There are hundreds of thousands of people in the United States that right now are feeling that exact emotion of displacement. And I think that's kind of where the new single comes in, if you don't mind me right into that and
Yeah.
just
No.
slide on over to
Yeah.
that one. It's awesome. It's got so much
Oh, thank you.
positivity and so much vibes. And the chorus, man, some of those lyrics can really mean a lot of things. The world is changing, and it definitely talks about love. So it could be about divorce and moving on. It could be about losing your job. But I feel like a lot of it is kind of just what we're going through right now. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, you're making me like I'll feel emotional about liking the song. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's what I was going for. You know, like the idea is the lyrics of this song, the world is different now, and I feel more of us. You know, that's because we did a movie about this. So Angels and Airways did this art house kind of meditative movie called Love.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about an astronaut that got stuck on the space station and he loses all contact because there's a war going on. He just looks out and just sees like lights going out and shit. And he's up here by himself and he gets stuck and then he kind of, you know, loses himself over 7 years and has to learn how important our connection is with other people. And that's what the whole thing is about, connection as a soul, you know? And this is that same kind of thing. No one can connect anymore. You can't touch anybody. You can't get close to anybody. And that made me really feel like more of us, you know? That made me feel how much I like us.
Yeah.
Because there is no us right now, you know? And that's why I put that in the song. I think you never really know what you got till you lose it, you know? And it's been tough, and it's so tough for the people that like can't even feed their kids and losing their jobs. It's just, I wanted to put something out there that really sparked some hope.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
especially for a lot of the people who have a loved one who are sick and they can't be with them, this is a totally new beast in that way. You know, if you're dying of cancer 2019, you could be with your mother, you could be with your father. My grandmother had COVID. She is recovered, but I mean, she's 93. We
Oh,
haven't been able
good.
to see her since like end of April.
Wow.
So, and she has dementia, so she has no idea why we're not there for her, why we can't be there for her, and it's so confusing. So when I listen to a song like this, it allows me to feel the greater energy, soul energy, universe energy, and my listeners know that I'm kind of like that. And I think being the UFO specialist you are, they know you're like that, and I think the
Yeah.
song is really important. This is a very important time to be putting out music, and as far as I know, you have a new record that you've been working on for like the last year in your basement. Is that true? So are we going to get a full set of new songs
Yeah.
after this?
Yeah, we are. I've been recording for over a year, and now we're kind of in the last stretch, and COVID allowed us to like write a few more songs, and these are like some of the best songs I've ever written in my life. And I'm just kind of
Yes,
going,
yes, yes.
everything happens for a reason, you know. At first, we're supposed to be playing all these like Lollapalooza and
Yeah,
so these we were doing all the festivals right now.
yeah.
So I was like so bummed. I was like, gosh, you know, what, we can't do the tour. What do we? I'll just keep recording, and then all of a sudden you come out with these songs. I was like, holy shit, this was like meant to be a universe thing, you know. And as you know,
Yes.
it's not weird, by the way. What
Thank
people
you.
don't what people don't know is that it's physics. It's not strange. It's so the government figured out, and I'll tell you something that they know. They
Please.
figured out that you know, people call it like unified consciousness, people call it God, people call it the source. It doesn't matter what you call it. You have a soul that connects to it, and you can meditate and access all information, past, present, future. So they do this in the intelligence agencies. They have groups of intuitives that have like really strong capabilities because they've been practicing their whole
Oh,
life, or their biology is a little bit different. Like those connection antennas happen to be a little bit bigger or some shit.
yeah. They're
But
able
it's
to
but
they're able to put away the rest of the stuff that harnesses us in, you
yeah.
know.
So if you shut your mind down and meditate and talk to God, the source, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's just science. It's just that's how our race of biology works, and you can change your life that way. But you know, this is why people kind of go, you know, I'm a Christian, and in our church we prayed and we healed somebody. Look, and you're like, holy shit, how did you do that? Then you go to another religion and they're like, you know, this is Islam, and we got down and bowed and prayed and we
Yeah.
healed somebody, and our God's right because we did it. Look, we healed somebody and it's real. And you're like, well, whose God is real? Because they both healed somebody.
Right?
Then there's a yogi that's meditating, and he like, you know, hovers off the ground or some shit, which is real because the government literally
Just gonna
deployed.
rub my crystals while we're talking. We'll just go ahead,
I
keep
know,
going.
but it's
I'm
just funny. Be like,
feeling so
I'm,
good.
try, I'm trying to tell you, like, this is real science. So they're now discovering that every single human being has a life force, a soul connected to a unified consciousness that's
That's so cool.
powerful, which I believe is what creates stars and shit, right? But
Yeah.
who knows? But in any case, they're using it, and I think that right now most people are, oh, new agey spiritual, the universe, what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm all, wait till it's like fucking you can boil water with fire, electricity, or lightning. The universe doesn't care. It just says
No.
something hot is going to boil water.
Yeah.
So that's what solves the issue of why anybody, you can pray and heal somebody or meditate and heal somebody, whatever. It just shut your mind down. They're both the same thing. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's just
God, I love
heat
it so
and
much.
boils water. Does that make sense?
I think this is so interesting because you are the third artist that I've done one of these like in-home interviews with, and you are the third artist that I've spoken with about meditation just totally naturally. I spoke with Brandon Boyd not too long ago, and he speaks highly of transcendental meditation being the be all for him. Meg Myers mentioned it too. And it kind of makes me think of you specifically because you're the duality of you, so much as we know as fans, is music and science, which are two so connected things. And it makes me think of kids in school and why those two are so important. So very cool. Obviously, your 2017 video has now been recognized as UFOs. That was exciting. It just happened in April. So basically, any photo of you and your band where you're wearing black, I'm going to tell my kids, you're Men in Black. You discovered aliens, as far as I'm concerned. What is that like? To be recognized on such a grand scale for something that you've been like, guys, hey, I wrote songs about this. I've been hinting for a while, you know?
Yeah. It was the second big passion in my life, because I felt like if it was real, it would solve all the issues of differing belief systems and war and that, like, who is God, and we're gonna kill each other over it. And then and then it would also be like, you know, what when you research it and you start to get into kind of like what they may or may not be doing, and it makes you start thinking that there's something going on here that's super important with humanity, who we are and why they're here, whatever they are. And so I was after it to answer some big life questions. So when I was able to team up with people in the government and launch To the Stars Academy and create a multi-year plan of how we're going to work with our friends in the government and bring this out, I could not believe it. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, because since I was like fucking 21, I'm like up all night reading conspiracy books. This is the coolest shit. But then all of a sudden, when you sit down with somebody in the CIA and they look you in the eye and they tell you what the real stakes are, stakes,
I'm sweating.
that shit fucking scared me. It blew my mind. I lost sleep on one briefing I had. I couldn't sleep for 3 nights. I was like, oh my God.
Like, I'm glad you know, but I'm happy that I don't fully know just yet. Like, I don't know that I'm ready, but I'm glad that you know. Like, that makes me feel better, because I'm now speaking with you and I know somebody who knows. You know what I mean? You're taking that fear down for people who fear the government specifically for this. And you're connecting the real humans, average people who might have listened to you in Blink or Boxcar Racer, or even just knew you from the funny videos they saw on MTV back in the day. Like, you're connecting real human people with the government and what they've known, which is like the medium. So thanks for taking that knowledge in the sleepless night.
Thank you. I think if you look at, like, you know, with a Mac, you know, with a big wide lens, 30,000-foot view, it makes sense that it's me doing this. People knew who I was at Blink. They're not threatened by me. They knew we're one of the few bands where the personality was really evident. You know, you can connect with us. That, you know, people trust musicians more than they would trust like an actor. You don't really know who an actor is or is acting, you know. But a band should, you know, you should really be yourself in a rock band. That's what rock and roll is all about. And you can identify with that person. Authenticity. And so, you know, I'm really fortunate to be doing what we're doing. And, you know, we created the company. I got the first declassified videos ever. I brought those out. New York Times pressured the government to do some stuff. We got the senators and the congressmen briefed. We set up all those briefings where we took the people in the program and brought them over to the Senate committees and stuff. I can't say which ones and whatever. Then we got, that was more work. And then we were able to force the Navy, and the Navy came out and said UFOs are real and Tom DeLonge's videos are real. You know, I couldn't believe they were like my name, but it's all part of what I told people. Like, it's coming, and there's steps and there's plans, and we've been organizing this stuff. But to have them now, where the Navy did that last year, and then this right now, the DOD publishing the videos. If you notice, it's going like this. So and people got to.
And it started with aliens. I mean, it's just like you're 20.
Well, I didn't know back then.
You knew. Like, in your soul, you knew, right?
Well, can you hear me? You got a little blurry. Well,
yes, I can hear you.
You never know what you know. You don't know where you like. To end up where I've ended up is crazy. I don't know how I got here, but I do know what I'm doing, and I do know that I told all the guys that I partnered with To the Stars, people from Department of Defense and the Central Intelligence Agency, and they all came out, and I said, look, I will take the bullets for this. They're going to think I'm crazy. They're going to go, why is this naked dude from that Blink band, like, why is he really, you know? I said, let me take these bullets, because I took them when I quit the band in the first place. People don't know me. They don't know what I'm about. They don't know what I'm trying to achieve. Like the fame thing doesn't do shit. You die as a little baby. You don't take money and
Yeah.
fame with you. You know what I'm saying? So
No.
people don't, basically I'm used to people being pissed at me for being me, you know? And so
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
came out and
That's what it
started
takes to
doing
be
this
an
stuff,
artist. That's what it takes to be the naked guy in the video. Like that's what it
I
takes
guess
to
so.
have that
You just can't care. You
skin
know, you
that
got
they
to
can't
believe
share.
in what you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in what you're doing. And I knew things that people don't know. And I said, you know, I'll let, they can do that. But they're going to be coming around here in a couple of years. And they're going to be pretty crazy, going to blow their minds when they find out that I was telling the truth, you know, I guess is my point. So,
Yeah. Well, can I flip the script a little bit? I know you're a baseball fan.
oh God, it's not even happening. I should be
What a
watching
bummer.
every day, like eating like bad food and watching baseball in the sun. What is going on? That's the
I
worst
mean,
part.
the worst part was you being a Padres fan.
That should not have been said the way you said it.
Says a St. Louis Cardinal fan.
You know what? The only thing good about the fucking Cardinals is their uniform.
It's great. The birds on the bat.
Yeah.
It's legit. Hey,
Yeah,
the Padres will have their year, but it's going to be nobody's year this year. I mean, do you think there's a possibility we could get back to that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I'm hearing rumblings that baseball is going to launch on July 4th, but they're going to be playing
Right.
probably in the Cactus League places in Phoenix, like where they do spring
Yeah.
training, in an empty
Where it's
stadium.
hot.
What a bum out for these kids. You know, they all play in front of 30,000 people usually, and they pitch, and it's so much. Oh, now it's going to be silent. It's going to be like a high school game, you know?
I read the list of the rules, and I wondered if this kind of stuff would like make sense in the concert world. They, you know, they obviously when they go to different cities and they go to different hotels, there's like a rule that I read where they can't leave the hotel room to get food or anything. So can you imagine they're like gone for all these days, and then when they get to the hotel room, it's like, cool, you can't leave. And then they said they had to sit in the stands, not in the inbox. They're going to be sitting in the stands separated during the game. I'm like,
the players?
Yeah, that was in this list of things. I was like, is this real that they proposed? I was like,
you know, it's funny. You have all these super handsome, like 23-year-old baseball players. They're all, we want to find chicks and kiss them. And they're all, you can't. You got to play to an empty stadium. You can't talk to your friends. You can't leave your hotel. All this shit. They're all, what about the chicks?
Right.
I'm a pro ball player.
What you've just told everybody is it's not just rock and rollers who get in it for the chicks. It's also the athletes. I think we know that.
I started playing guitar to get a girl. I swear to God. Like, I used to call up, I said it on my whole Angels tour. There's a whole section where I play acoustic guitar and tell this story about writing a song for this girl and showing up at her doorstep. I was trying to get chicks the whole time, and it didn't work. But I'll tell you, it was funny how it started to work. Like, once I was a big artist, like somehow I'm more handsome then. I'm like, well, thanks a lot. And I was married, you know, so I was like,
yeah, wasted.
Like, God damn it. What can I do?
Well, now you caught the right gal. You got a fun set of kiddos at home. This is May, the month of May. Lots of people are graduating.
My daughter's graduating. My daughter graduates in like 60 days. Like, turns 18 and graduates. Like, I'm like crying and shit. I'm like, my daughter's leaving. Like, fucking worse. That's painful. COVID's painful. This is painful. Everything's painful. My daughter's like a human leaving.
It's so weird to think that they're not going to get the normal ceremonies. They're not going to get the normal proms and all the normal things.
No rituals. Prom
no
is
rituals.
Off, all that. It's so sad.
Like, I just, you know, and that's definitely, of course, the littlest thing that we could all be worried about. Obviously, life and death is happening out here, but those things still matter. Those things still matter.
Well, you got to realize as an adult, you know, we read the news, we travel to other countries, we travel around other states. So in our mind, if you close your eyes, you're like, okay, I can think of Washington, Seattle, London. There's wars going on. There's like, your world is big. You're aware of the world. A kid is only aware of their high school, their friend group, and what they're doing this weekend. So you take out one thing, it's big. Like, taking away prom is like taking away fucking like your big 2-month European trip that you've saved up for 10 years. You know, it's like something, you know, does that make sense? It's like, it's a big deal because they don't have much in their world of what they think. They don't even know what other cities look like really and stuff. You know, they're not thinking about anything other than this. So you take out, you know, a ceremony, a graduation. It's like, it's like taking one of the three legs of a stool, you know?
We need to get you in some sort of like virtual, like you need to give a virtual graduation speech. I think you have a
Yeah.
lot of good stuff coming out. I mean, just like this time has been good for you. I think you're going to produce a lot more good stuff, and you've got a lot of goodness coming out of you. Do you have anything you could recommend? Are there any graduates and the 613 people watching?
Yeah,
Any
well,
advice for the
yeah,
graduates?
you know,
Class of
and as this,
2020?
yeah, yes, I do. The advice I have is, I think life, if you go through this, I'm making this up right now. So if this comes out good, this is going to be awesome. Life is like playing an instrument. You can go to school and learn to play the instrument, and they teach you how to do a chord, and they teach you music theory and the mechanics. Or you could be like me, and you go, this thing makes noise. And I kind of like it when it makes this kind of noise, and you create something that's out of the thin air that's never been created before, out of no structure. You just create. And I think life is that way. So if you go to college and learn all the structure and all the mathematics of how to be academic and get the job and study, you know, it might not be as cool as being organic and seeing where life takes you and being open to something less structure, maybe a trade school, maybe just go to that internship. Maybe, I mean, it's like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs didn't go to college, you know, like they did what
We
they
are in a
wanted to
different
do.
world now.
They literally created computers the same way I created a song. This just makes noise. They didn't have some fucking crazy structure of how, you know, information technology works, and this is how you build a computer. Like they're just fucking taking acid and creating computers, you know? So I think the best living comes when you open your soul up to creation. Don't do the structured shit. Be aware of the opportunities that come to you. Like if you can like for example, say you always wanted to start like a fucking cafe and serve French croissants. It's like your dream. You're a pastry chef, you know, that you don't have the money, but you're working at fucking Geico and you hate it, you know, and then all of a sudden you go get a coffee one day and someone behind you is going, you know, gosh, my brother has this croissant factory and he's really wishes he could have such and such, and I don't know. And you listen to that, God, I really want to fucking sell pastry. Or you stop and turn around, go, hey, I heard you talking about croissant. I heard you talk, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a little breadcrumb for you to follow. So you got to
Yes.
be aware of those breadcrumbs. But as soon as you're aware of those breadcrumbs, it will put you on the path that you're supposed to be on. When people find themselves like addicted to drugs and on or alcohol, and they hate their fucking stuck in a shitty house, and they're angry and they're tense and they're sad and they feel like life is prison, that's because they didn't follow the breadcrumbs. They're off the wave of life. You know, you gotta like look where everything's pushing you, and don't be angry when something falls apart, because there's a reason. It's like I was bummed that I'm not at Lollapalooza right now, but I
Yeah.
also wrote one of the best songs of my life because of it. So the universe be
Yes, you,
saying your record
yes, you
needs to be
did.
better. Stay home, you know. So it's that kind of thing, and I think that this shit will help people if they think about life that way. Look at me. What the fuck am I talking about? Sorry.
I think that's great. I mean, the earth just straight up benched our asses. The earth was like, look, you're not treating me
Yeah.
right. Go inside. Time out.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think
true.
that, I mean,
I mean,
that's the,
yeah. How's all that shit where they're saying like the environment is like way cleaner from space? You know, they could see it. It's like
yeah,
that's wild. That's wild. That shows you
following
how
the
like
actual breadcrumbs, following the actual, and I think, like you said, when you're in that terrible spot where you hate yourself and you hate everything and you're just stressed out, look for the little breadcrumbs because they're still
look for
coming. They still
they
drop for
are.
you. You
They
just have to
do.
really open your eyes for it.
And they come strongest in the times of the most pain. And that's the thing. Like when you are in the most pain from losing a family member or losing a job or getting a divorce, you will, those things come strong, and be aware of that. It's wild. But this is like being a spiritual human being. Like this is where humans are going, whether they
Yep.
want to or not. And we will operate pretty wildly different than we do now in like 20 years, I think.
Yeah,
It's not as,
change is inevitable. It's happening regardless. People can either go with it quickly and be a part of the movement forward, or you can just be dragged along by the rest of us who are pulling you with our crystals and our meditation and our UFOs,
UFOs.
because it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Tom, this has been absolutely delightful. I thank you so much for spending such a long amount of time with me. People
Sure.
really enjoyed this. The comments are going crazy. And I hope you get the watercolors as soon as possible to your kiddos. Because, like, look, school is very important while you're in elementary and high school.
Well, I'm just going to complain because I've like, fucking, is this, are you a hippie? Who the fuck uses watercolors? Like, I was like,
I got
Sharpies.
I got acrylics. Like, what is this?
Yeah, acrylics. Something. Spray paint.
Have a wonderful day. Can't wait for the new music to come out. Everyone's going to go and download the new single, All That's Left Is Love, to help Feeding America, which is an incredible cause. We did not get enough chance to talk about it today, but I will link all the information for everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have an
Bye.
awesome day. Bye-bye.
You too.